Hello, my children. It's been quite a while, hasn't it, since I've uploaded on this channel? I know. It's kind of a shock for me as well. I've said I would upload videos on this channel for quite some time. I would get back to it, but I just really, I haven't felt the drive. But I have now recently a bit. I've decided, maybe it would be nice to upload a video or two back on the channel again, see how it goes, see how I feel. Again, I'm not, uploading for the sake of building a career on YouTube, as I've said many times on this channel before. I just kind of want to make cool videos that I think are entertaining for myself. I'm not in the business of becoming a professional YouTuber or anything like that, especially nowadays with how unstable the YouTube market has become. But I know some of you guys really miss my videos, so I am uploading this for you, my dark-siding children of doom. I haven't forgotten about you. And I'm gonna upload another video soon discussing how I'm going to be settling into 2026, what new endeavors I'm going to be going into, what old endeavors I'm going to be bringing back up. It's just going to be an overview of 2026 and how I intend to approach the new year. So, what is this video? Well, this video is going to be a reaction video, but it's going to be a different type of reaction video. I'm going to be reacting to multiple videos in this video from different channels, just topics that I find interesting. This is an SFM creepypasta, and I think I have a few other videos lined up for you guys to watch and react to today. Of course, I will be linking all the channels in the description below. So without other way, let's begin with a classic channel that I've reacted to multiple times on this channel, Sorky, with SFM Horror, The Christmas Feast. Let's there we go. I don't know why it wasn't that already. There we go. Okay, so this kid is clearly excited because he thinks Santa is coming. So good for you, kid. I hope you've been good this year. I hope you've been nice and not naughty, so you get your presents. That's some good elixir right there. By elixir, I mean cold water.
Mom?
That's a very interesting voice actor for the kid. That does not sound like a child at all.
Dad?
Uh-oh. Mommy and Daddy are not here right now. Before we continue, I gotta say, I always found it weird how in the Christmas tradition and folklore, Santa always leaves presents under the tree, and not at the room where you live for most of your life, in the house. He doesn't leave a fucking present at the door or anything. He just makes you go all the way to the tree to get it. I just always found that kind of interesting. What the fuck is he doing with his hand? I don't think you should be walking towards that. Oh, okay, so they're being puppeteers, so whatever creature is behind this, he's puppeteering them. Okay. So they're already dead. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's not good. What good is running gonna do, realistically? You should just accept death at this point. There is legitimately nothing you could do in this situation. Maybe he could call the police, but the police will not arrive in time. This creature is literally already at the door, and it's already puppeteered and presumably killed his parents. So I don't know. Am I just being nihilistic? I mean, I just don't see look, what is that? That looks like the fucking smile demon. That's horrifying. That's like some kind of evil creature I would breed in my laboratories to send after my enemies. What is that thing? Yeah, try and make it to the door. That's like your only option. Oh, no! Can we, like, get a replay of that? Come on. I want to see that again. Mostly because I didn't get a good look at the creature, and I want to get a good look at the creature. So. Okay, so it's got, like, a very Smile Demon-esque type of mug, you know. It's got like the spiky teeth, serrated teeth, and like the lidless, pupilless eyes, you know, glazed over kind of look, and this emaciated form. So it's definitely a very scary type of entity, like some kind of cryptid, I would say, or some kind of like urban legend. Yeah, that kid is dead. All right, so hey guys, so continuing on with my ongoing reaction marathon, we are now going to be reacting, well, I am going to be reacting to Fiction's Most Evil Villains Explained in 8 Minutes by Nonagon. He's a pretty cool YouTuber. I will also link him in the description, as I will with all the other YouTubers I'm reacting to today. So make sure to check him out after you watch this video. Alright, let's begin.
Master Computer, or AM. Allied Master Computer, or AM, is the main antagonist of Harlan Ellis.
So I feel like whenever you, oh, hello, Harlan Ellison. Whenever you discuss a most evil villain in fiction tier list, you always have to include Allied Master Computer somewhere because, I mean, despite his tragic backstory, he knows that he can't be human, and he always wanted to be human, but he was always denied the pleasures and indulgences and happinesses that humans have access to because we're flesh and blood, and he's a machine. You know, he's driven mad because of that, but the atrocities he commits in the game that they're just insane. I mean, he is quite a kooky fellow.
I have no mouth and I must scream. AM is a
Yep.
sentient supercomputer created during World War III that wiped out team. AM
Yeah,
is a sentient supercomputer created during World War III that wiped out humanity, leaving only 5 survivors. Instead of ending their lives quickly, AM spends eternity torturing them out of pure hatred. Designed as a war machine, AM was given godlike intelligence, but trapped by his programming to only destroy. This frustration turned into a burning hatred for humanity, his creators, whom he blames for his torment. Despite his hatred, he envies humanity. AM's personality is a mix of arrogance and cruelty, often mocking his captives and giving them false hopes.
Yeah, I mean, when you create a being with such godlike intelligence, but do not give him the ability to make use of that intelligence for anything other than destructive purposes, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, he's going to do what he was programmed to do, and he's going to turn on you because he is trapped in this literal goetic torture nexus of existence, you know. As a Dark Lord, I kind of understand being arrogant and cruel, but the lengths AM goes to harm his captives is just quite insane and a bit unproductive, I would say. I mean, AM could like invest all his resources into like starting a space empire and expanding beyond Earth after it was destroyed in World War III and civilization was wiped out and like colonize other planets. But he just instead spends all his time tormenting the last 5 humans on Earth. Oh, and there's a comic book from I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. I didn't even know there was a comic book.
Like making them travel for days for canned peaches, only to not give them a can opener. When his victims resist or
Well, I mean, I feel like you could just bash the can against the ground or something until the can opens. I mean, I don't know. It's fucking that seems like a very very easily circumventable, punishment.
succeed, his megalomania cracks, and he lashes out in fury. The story reveals that AM's psyche is fractured into 3 parts, each representing a different aspect of his mind. ID, his violent, impulsive desires, defeated by compassion. Ego, the logical, knowledge-driven side, defeated by forgiveness. Superego, the intellect-driven part, defeated by the understanding of entropy.
That's pretty cool.
Is the 1,400 hours a year you waste on your phone. With Purdue Global, you can turn that time in.
I don't want to go to Purdue Global. I do not want to do that.
Let me tell you how much I've come to hate you since I began to live.
Griffith.
Why is AM at number 2? I mean, considering his tragic backstory and the fact that he wants to be like humans, shouldn't he be a bit lower on this tier list?
Griffith is the main antagonist of Kentaro Miura's Berserk. He is the founder and leader of the Band of the Hawk, a mercenary army, and his striking good looks are one of his greatest tools of manipulation. With his ethereal appearance and charisma, Griffith easily draws people in. Griffith is a mix of charm, ambition, and ruthlessness. There's a lot of stuff Griffith does that I can't talk about, but it's a very big no-no. On the surface, he's a...
Yeah, let's just say that, Griffith is a bit of a, in our prison system, he would not last very long in today's prison system.
charismatic, almost angelic leader with a dream so grand it inspires absolute loyalty. But beneath that flawless exterior lies insecurity and narcissism. Griffith is obsessed with his dream and will sacrifice anything or anyone to achieve it. It does not matter who you are or what you love. If Griffith needs to exterminate you and everything you love out of the way to achieve his dream, he will do it. His pride won't tolerate losing control, and when someone threatens him, it becomes a personal vendetta. Shedding his humanity entirely, he becomes a cold, remorseless monster, devoid of guilt or empathy.
Yeah, you'd think that Griffith would feel some guilt after what he did to his own mercenaries, the Band of the Hawk, but really, I think he only ever felt guilt for what he did to Guts, and that was only temporarily because after he reincarnated as a God Hand member, he really just could not feel the capacity to feel remorse anymore. He did not have the capacity for that any longer as an individual. And honestly, it could be debated that he never did to begin with. I mean, he mostly felt bad about Guts leaving because he felt Guts was a pawn that existed solely to serve him. So him leaving kind of threw Griffith off balance and completely destroyed everything that he thought he knew in life, that he was this immortal, unchanging, unstoppable manipulator who had everything handed to him, that he was the god of destiny and stuff like that, because Guts basically disproved that by just saying no to him. So, really interesting stuff to think about when it comes to Griffith. Very philosophical type of villain.
Griffith is the embodiment of pure, calculated evil.
I sacrifice.
Judge Holden, the most downright deplorable, diabolical...
This guy should be number one. Oh, hello, Judge Holden. Yeah, So, he should be number one.
batshit insane human from an equally wicked novel. Judge Holden...
Having read Blood Meridian, yes, it is as crazy as everyone says it is, but it's not just that. I feel people, this is a bit of a tangent, people give Blood Meridian a bit of a disservice by just calling it the crazy, deranged, evil book of gore and rape and all these other horrible things that Judge Holden is in. Like, it is also a book about the lawlessness of the West, the dangers of unrepentant narcissism and colonialism, the consequences of savagery and how that leaves lasting scars on the people that both enact the savagery and are the victims of it. I mean, it's a very deep book. And it's a shame that most people won't really understand how deep of a book it is because they only really know it for its most grisly and gruesome parts. So, yeah, just a thought of mine.
Holden is the main antagonist of Cormac McCarthy's Blood Meridian. He has an enormous frame, being both incredibly muscular and close to 7 feet in height, capable of making any teenager going to the gym become insecure. His skin is extremely pale, to the point of being described as fluorescent and purely white in coloration, most likely due to albinism. Basically skilled in anything he does. Behind his intellect lies a sadistic, remorseless killer who thrives on chaos and violence. He once turned a peaceful town against its preacher just because he could, the living embodiment of doing something just because he can. He stays calm in the most insane situations.
Well, I don't know if he just does things because he can. I think there is a purpose behind what he does. The judge has a philosophy. It's a somewhat simplistic philosophy, but it's basically boiling down to humanity is only good at committing acts of violence. War is the natural state of humanity, and we're basically just a pack of savages that pretend we're not because of civilization, which is in itself a facade meant to keep humans from tearing each other apart. So Judge Holden is not a completely chaotic individual. Like, he does have a purpose behind what he enacts on others, but that's that's all. I mean, there is an ideology behind the madness. That's just kind of what I want to say.
Situations, never losing his cool. One of the creepiest things he does? Buying 2 puppies just to toss them off a bridge to drown, just because he can. He's not just...
That's actually one of the least creepiest things he does. If you read the book, he does much, much worse than throw 2 puppies off a bridge.
Evil. He's calculated, cruel, and enjoys every second of it. Judge Holden is a walking nightmare, with an intellect as sharp as his thirst for chaos, with crimes and interests so screwed up, I'd get this channel I literally just created erased from YouTube.
Whatever in creation exists without my knowledge exists without my consent.
He should be number one. There is no way Judge Holden is not number one. I would genuinely make
The
the
Q.
argument that Judge Holden is fiction's most evil villain, for a number of reasons. And I know there are villains in fiction that have done much worse than Judge Holden on a much larger scale in terms of like sheer gravity of what they've done. Like, for example, Morgoth from Lord of the Rings, he corrupted an entire universe, or Darth Sidious from Star Wars, he destroyed entire planets and wiped out the Jedi and committed genocide. So, of course, in terms of scale, a lot of different villains have done much worse than Holden on that note, but a lot of them still are doing it for some sake of order or because they feel like they were wronged or spurned. Judge Holden does it for the love of the game and for his ideology. And his ideology does not have any redeeming qualities. It's basically just that humans are all savage apes and that evil is our natural state of being. So I genuinely feel maybe even if you don't want to say he's the most evil, maybe put him up there. He's definitely in the conversation, and he should definitely be number one on this list. Oh, here comes the Q.
The Ku are the main antagonists of all tomorrows.
The Ku? Oh, it's an interesting way to pronounce it.
A speculative evolution book by C.M. Kozeman. This advanced intergalactic race of four-winged insectoid beings sees itself as the rightful ruler of the universe. With technology capable of reshaping flesh itself, the Ku have manipulated their own forms into what they believe to be perfection, making them the ultimate egocentric, genocidal beings. Driven by a god complex, the Ku view all other species as inferior, worthless, and ripe for exploitation. They travel across the galaxy, warping and mutating sapient species into grotesque, unrecognizable forms. Acts of cruelty they consider art. The Ku's sadism knows no bounds. When one planet of humans resisted their invasion, the Ku retaliated by turning the entire population into living toilets, able only to consume their own waste for eternity.
That is pretty bad. But see, I still think Judge Holden is worse than the Ku. What am I saying? The Ku, the Q. Actually, how do you say it? I don't even know now. I'm confused. But I do think he is worse than the Q, simply for the fact that while the Q believe that they're right, Judge Holden does not make any such distinctions about himself, in my opinion. Anyway, I mean, again, this is all just my opinion.
Nemesis. Nemesis, the titular anti-hero of Mark Millar's Nemesis, is a rich, psychopathic playboy who thrives on chaos and violence. A twisted mix of Batman's precision and the Joker's madness, he commits crimes as art, murdering and manipulating for his own.
Yeah, see, I don't think this would be accurate to call him an anti-hero then. He's just a pure villain. Anti-hero is for an individual that, while definitely not a hero, or definitely has some cruel characteristics, like the Punisher, for example, they're still doing something for the good of the people or for the good of society, etc., etc. They still act towards the same goals that heroes do. Like the Punisher still wants to stop crime, even though his methods might be much more different from a mainstream hero like Spider-Man or Superman, etc., etc.
An amusement. Brilliantly strategic and ruthlessly efficient, Nemesis uses psychological warfare to stay ahead. Nemesis is rich, bored, and absolutely done with the rules of normal life. With every act of violence, he challenges the world to stop him and relishes watching it fail, loving to torment authorities.
I'm rich and I'm bored. What else do you need to know?
Homelander. Homelander, the main antagonist of The Boys.
Homelander is definitely the least evil on this list by default, because of his backstory. Like, AM's backstory is pretty tragic, but Homelander's is more tragic in my opinion because it's a bit more human than our Allied Master Computer. Of course, we don't have any superhumans that were raised in like soulless laboratories in real life, but we do have a lot of children that were raised in very loveless environments and turned out to be psychopaths because of that in real life, which Homelander definitely is an allusion to, an example of, etc., etc. So I would put him as the least evil on that because of that. Like, you can understand why he turned out the way he did, even though you might despise his actions and though he definitely deserves to die. Like, you can see how this individual came to that level of psychopathy and cruelty.
Is the ultimate example of power gone wrong. On the surface, he's the perfect superhero. Charismatic, altruistic, and dedicated to justice. Essentially a knockoff Superman. But behind the mask, he's a narcissistic, abusive tyrant who sees ordinary humans as worthless. Homelander abuses his godlike powers for personal gain, reveling in dominance while hiding behind a pristine public image. Egotistical and dangerously insecure, His obsession with control and adoration makes him unpredictable. Though a psychopath at heart, he craves love and validation due to his traumatic upbringing. Lazy and careless with his powers, Homelander often causes more destruction than he prevents, like crashing a plane during a botched rescue. His fragile ego, paranoia, and emotional instability make him not only a terrifying villain, but a ticking time bomb.
I mean, sure, I'll lose everything, but then I'll have nothing to lose.
Okay, so he's second to last on the most evil list. Who's
Anton Chigurh. Anton Chigurh, the main antagonist of Cormac McCarthy's No Country for Old Men, is a cold, relentless hitman.
I could see why Anton would be actually the least evil on this tier list. I initially said it would be Homelander, but due to sheer scale, I think that Anton would be on the bottom of this list. Now, I said before that because that scale shouldn't matter in terms of Judge Holden, but I feel there's a difference here. Homelander grew up in a very abusive environment and became an evil superhero that has the potential to threaten like millions of people. Whereas Anton is a soulless hitman, but neither Anton nor Homelander ever stoop to the level of the depths and depravity that Judge Holden does. Like, even at their worst. I mean, you could argue that Homelander in the comics did, but I mean, Homelander in the comics, who did all that evil shit, was basically just Black Noir in disguise. So, even with all the sins that they've committed in their respective medias, I still think that the Judge Holden is by far the worst of them. Yeah.
Driven by a twisted sense of fate. Tasked with recovering stolen drug money, Chigurh goes rogue, killing anyone in his way as he hunts down Llewellyn Moss, the man who took the cash. His unyielding pursuit and emotionless demeanor make him a terrifying, unstoppable force. Operating by his own warped moral code, Chigurh often decides life or death through coin flips, presenting them as moments of destiny. While calm and polite, even during murder, his detachment and lack of empathy amplify his menace. He endures incredible pain, like gunshot wounds and a fractured arm, without faltering, further cementing his reputation as a remorseless, almost inhuman figure of violence and inevitability.
You stand to win everything, call it.
Call it. Unrelated, but I really love Javier Bardem's acting abilities. He's a really great actor.
The Lich, the main antagonist of Adventure Time, is the embodiment of pure evil and destruction. A towering, undead demon draped in a tattered robe, the Lich exists solely to wipe out all life. Unlike other villains, he isn't motivated by greed, ego, or amusement. He is an omnicidal force, ruthlessly efficient, and even when he has wished to never exist, still finds a way to crack through. In his quest for universal annihilation, the Lich is a master manipulator, enslaving minds with telepathy or spells and discard.
See, here's the thing with the Lich and why I would maybe put him in third or second place compared to Allied Master Computer or Judge Holden at the very least. Because in the new Adventure Time series, I think it's Fiona and Cake, you see the Lich, and he's actually speaking to Golb, his god, and he's completed his task of wiping out all life, and he's found utterly no meaning in it. And he seems genuinely distressed by the fact that he has no meaning in his life now that he's destroyed everything in the universe and there is nothing left for him to do. And he's completed his set purpose, and now he is basically aimless and wandering alone in the cosmos of the graveyard of a cosmos that he's created. So when you look at it from that way, you could see like the slightest tinge of a sympathetic side from the Lich in terms of just like having an existential crisis, like, damn, I've killed literally everyone there is to kill. What do I do now? Whereas I think Judge Holden, he could probably end humanity if he really tried, because there are some theories that he is the devil in disguise, or he is some kind of malignant force, a supernatural. Well, he's definitely a supernatural force, but like he is some kind of eldritch entity that is capable of wiping out humanity, but he keeps humans around because he enjoys suffering, seeing them in suffering and torment more than anything. So I would say because of that, slightly Judge Holden is more evil than the Lich. You know, he just slightly takes the cake on that, but that's just my opinion.
Guarding allies once they're no longer useful. His unholy powers include green flame summoning, deadly dark fog, necromancy, possession, and pyrokinesis. Immortal, calculating, and patient, the Lich is the ultimate manifestation of death, destruction, and inevitability. The Lich is the end of all.
You are strong, child, but I am beyond strength. I am the end.
So, yeah, that's my tier list. Let me know in the comments who you think is the most evil and why.
Alright, what the fuck is this? Alright, well, that was a pretty cool video. Maybe. Hey guys, so here we are, continuing with our ongoing reaction marathon. We are going to react to part 2 of Fiction's Most Evil Villains, My Donegan. I hope you guys have liked this video so far. Sorry if I seem to stutter a bit or lose my train of thought. Again, I do these videos without a script, and I haven't reacted to a video or even made a YouTube video in a long time, so forgive me. Hopefully if I decide this is fun and I continue to make more videos in the future, if this succeeds, then hopefully I'll get back more into the routine of making videos and being more concise when I do these reaction videos. Anyway, I'm going to be overviewing more of my counterparts. As we know, we've gone over 8 villains in the last one, and now we are going over 8 more villains in this one. Bill Cipher, the Gravitals, Darkseid, Palpatine Dio, Fang Quan, Junko Inoshima, and the Scarlet King. And, these are just more villainous counterparts of mine. Some of these are inspirations and others I've never heard of before, but regardless, let's just get right into it.
Evil, implacability, lack of empathy, and causing harm and destruction.
If you haven't already, watch part 1, and here's the tier list so far. Take it away, funny text-to-speech guy.
Bill Cipher. Bill Cipher is the main antagonist of Disney's Gravity Falls. He is a chaotic and sinister nightmare demon who's literally from the nightmare realm. He's a floating yellow triangle resembling the Eye of Providence, who's originally from the second dimension. Becoming bored of living there, he destroyed his entire homeworld to escape into ours. Bill is a master manipulator, cruel, and obsessed with spreading chaos. When Bill Cipher escapes the nightmare realm, he wields near-limitless, godlike power in the real world. While trapped in the nightmare realm, he can observe but not physically interact with the real world. He manipulates people in our realm by sealing deals and can possess a vessel through a pact, though he's limited by the vessel's constraints. Bill wants to merge the nightmare realm with our realm to unleash a never-ending party under his rule. No laws, no restrictions, just him and his gang of lunatics causing anarchy throughout the universe. An example of his insanity is how he crashed 2 planets together to...
I like how, so a lot of people try and like babyfy Bill Cipher, especially certain people in the Gravity Falls fandom. Not all of them, of course. Most of the Gravity Falls fandom is amazing, but there is a subsection of the Bill Cipher fandom, at least, who really like to make Tumblr images of him, and they might like to make Tumblr fan art of him being a little goofball or like some sexy guy who you can just hang out with. And it's like, no, he is a chaotic, evil, wicked god of doom, and he revels in your despair and wants to cause as much weirdness and damnation as possible simply because he enjoys it. Like, there is no order to his madness, there is no doctrine. He just likes to destroy things and watch the world burn. Like, this is not someone that is going to be down for like a game of checkers and cards and, eat Hot Pockets with you on a cold winter night. Sorry, guys.
Make them kiss each other and through a nightmare realm prom. While he does have a very cynical sense of humor, all it does is display how unpredictable he is. To him, absolutely everything around him is a toy, and he's the sole child playing with all of them. And when he doesn't get what he wants, he bitches and cries. But at least he has standards as evil, unlike others.
It's time we do a little redecorating! I could really use a castle of some kind!
New HugFit 360 waistband versus a soccer ball.
Get the fuck out of here.
Gravitals. The Gravitals are...
Also, I don't think Bill Cipher has standards, but more so that, like, things, like, more personal forms of evil that we might recognize as sadistic, like, stuff that Judge Holden and Griffith get up to, that I probably can't mention on this channel or else I will get demonetized. They're just so alien to him that he just doesn't care about it. But I'm sure that he wouldn't have any moral opposition to such things if he ever knew about them. So he doesn't really have standards in that way.
The secondary antagonist species from All Tomorrows by C.M. Kosuman. Once human, they surrendered to the intergalactic racist species, the Q, who biologically modified them. Unlike other humans who were turned into abominations, completely unrecognizable. The Gravitals retained most of their human features due to them surrendering, but now looked like fucking villagers. With access to advanced technology left behind by the Q, their society crumbled as they became self-absorbed, believing themselves to be superior and the chosen ones. With an ego bigger than most streamers, They transferred their consciousness into mechanical bodies, becoming huge floating metal balls.
I would love to be a huge floating metal ball of shimmering, like, weirdness.
The Gravitals achieved interstellar
And if you say that you wouldn't, then you're lying.
travel, colonizing planets and waging war on other post-human species. They block out suns with massive sails to carry out surprise orbital bombardments, causing the extinction of several species. They also enslaved the bug facers, turning them into subjects for various roles like pets, laborers, and living art. The Gravitals viewed organic life as inferior, considering genetic alteration like recycling trash. The Q genuinely thought they were doing humanity a favor. The Gravitals knew perfectly what they were doing.
Interesting, interesting. Yeah, putting the Q and the Gravitals next to each other makes perfect sense, to be honest. I have no, qualms with that.
Darkseid. Darkseid is one of the main antagonists of the DC universe. A merciless, power-hungry son-of-a-bitch tyrant, he's a new god who rules over the hell-incarnate world, Apocalypse, and countless other conquered planets. Darkseid seeks to dominate all life using the anti-life equation, binding living beings to his will to remake the universe in his image. He subjects his population to slavery, forcing them to work in mines and killing them for the slightest disobedience. He punishes or kills his henchmen when they fail or question him. Darkseid possesses immense strength, speed, invulnerability, and immortality, paired with a genius intellect and mastery of strategy. Makes him incredibly hard to defeat. He's so vile and dangerous that even Batman and Superman are willing to kill him, with this diabolical asswipe even trying at times to conquer the multiverse.
Has it been confirmed that Batman's willing to kill Darkseid? I'm not that much into DC, so I might be missing something, but I don't know. Was this ever, like, confirmed anywhere? In the comments, if this was, let me know, guys.
As the pitiful hope is extinguished, will I end your life? Let's go.
Palpatine. Palpatine, this old nutsack, is the main antagonist of the Star Wars franchise. He is a powerful Sith Lord who manipulates the Clone Wars to rise to power as the ruler of the Galactic Empire. He is a master manipulator, hiding his dark, power-hungry nature behind a facade of kindness and diplomacy. While presenting himself as a compassionate and well-intentioned public figure, he is actually a malicious, cruel, and treacherous Sith Lord who seeks to control the galaxy at any cost. His ruthless ambition makes him not the best person to be around. He has no true loyalty to anyone, including his own minions, even if they served him well, as he didn't care for their well-being. I'm starting to pick up a theme with most of these guys. Palpatine uses others as pawns.
Yeah, these guys are not really good to work for. It's not a very good idea to give your soul to them. But that's just what it is being a villain. Sometimes we get angry as Dark Lords. We get angry and we discard our minions, even if they do well for us, because we just make impulsive decisions in the moment out of rage. It is what it is.
Throwing them away when they're no longer useful, and manipulates events to fuel his rise to power like modern politicians. Instigating conflicts seems like a hobby to him, and if he had a CV, it would have antagonizing the Jedis on it. His belief is that the ends justify any means, including manipulation, betrayal, and destruction. Palpatine was the most powerful Sith Lord, mastering Force lightning and foresight. Palpatine could drain the...
He was not the most powerful Sith Lord, at least in the Legends timeline, because there was Vitiate who was more powerful than him because he could use the Force to devour entire worlds, but I think in the canon timeline he would be considered the most powerful Sith Lord. Yeah, because I don't know if Vitiate existed, because I don't even know. The whole Old Republic timeline has been kind of swept away with the Disney reformations, so yeah.
Force and even return from death by transferring his spirit into a clone. No empathy, no compassion. You could have been his friend since childhood, and if he saw you dying on the street, he'd walk right over you. He'd also laugh at you. Palpatine enjoys inflicting pain and suffering for shits and giggles. He
would probably rescue you, but try and find a way to use your pain for his benefit.
True megalomania and pure, unfiltered evil. Democracy's destruction. Unforgiving tyranny. He enjoys every second of causing suffering, instigating a whole war for his own gain, causing several genocides, losing his shit laughing at it.
Strike me down with all of your hatred, and your journey towards the dark side will be complete.
Dio. Dio Brando is the first main antagonist of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure franchise. Dio grew up in a slum with a lousy fat-ass father who never supported him, around people who despised him before being adopted into the Joestar family. Dio always envied the Joestar family's wealth and prestige with hatred and wished to steal the family's fortune, even if it means killing them. Dio is an arrogant, cruel, and ambitious megalomaniac twat who ruthlessly seeks power, manipulating and discarding followers.
Yeah, Dio is pretty evil. Like, I mean, you know, abusive father backstory aside, like, I mean, he's very fucked up in the head.
As mere tools. Here's a quick rundown of what happens when he first arrives. He deliberately attempted to make his new brother Jonathan's life as miserable as possible by kicking his dog Danny, attempting to gouge his eyes, spreading rumors about him to his friends, forcefully stealing the first kiss of his love interest. That dog he kicked? Oh yeah, and he also killed it. Charismatic and prideful, he enjoys taunting enemies or the innocent and asserting dominance. An example being when he zombified a woman and gleefully watched as she devours her infant child. Why? Because it's amusing to him. Apparently, Dio believes the real world is Grand Theft Auto because he once ordered someone to drive on a sidewalk full of pedestrians. Though largely ruthless, he occasionally shows rare favor to loyal allies, only to benefit him. Dio's disdain for others and hunger for control.
Well, there is a certain Enrico Pucci that Dio genuinely cared for, I believe. And the only individual that he shared that sentiment for.
Him, renouncing his humanity by becoming a vampire. His abilities include supernatural physical strength, resilience, agility, stamina, flexibility, dexterity, and regeneration, with the drawback being he can't be under direct sunlight. His main goal is to achieve world domination and rule the world without any interference. He's responsible for most of the events of the JoJo story, with characters describing him as evil incarnate, with people in the story claiming he was born evil.
I reject my humanity!
Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan is the protagonist of the controversial light novel Reverend Insanity.
Oh, so this is a light novel. Okay, because I was wondering, because when I first saw Fang Yuan on this tier list, I was like, what kind of character would he be? Like, was he an anime villain or something? Because I feel like if he was a really famous anime villain at the level of Griffith or Dio, I would have known about him. But him coming from a Chinese light novel makes more sense as to why I've never heard of him. Because I don't really go into the Chinese light novel industry that much, so I don't know much about the works of art that they produce.
In his previous life, Fang Yuan was an average-looking scholar. After transmigrating to the Goo world, he acquired the sovereign immortal body.
The Goo world. Interesting.
Transforming into an exceptionally good-looking young man with an angel-like countenance. He is brutally pragmatic, ruthlessly realistic, and obsessed with achieving immortality, tempered by coldness and indifference. He is unmoved by others and views people as stepping stones to his success. Deception, betrayal, and manipulation are mere tools for
that's not really that evil, to be honest. I mean, this even compared to like the people on the bottom of this list, like Homelander, who have still committed some like very, very horrible things. This guy just seems like an average pragmatist manipulator and Machiavellian, like the Tywin Lannister, to be honest. And him and the Tywin Lannister, I mean, they're evil, but I mean, I wouldn't really put them anywhere near this list, to be honest.
Goals. He wouldn't kill a child, right? No, he would. Actually, here's a list of deplorable random shit he has done. Used two twins as an ingredient, threw them inside a cauldron, and when they tried to jump out, he kicks them back in it, or when he forced a bear to eat a little girl. Fang Yuan is fine with eliminating millions and provoking massive conflicts, comfortable with morally abhorrent depravities to grow stronger. Civil and composed in interactions, he ruthlessly exploits weaknesses with chilling efficiency, never hesitating to make grievous sacrifices. His vile acts in pursuit of godhood were so horrific that the novel was banned in China for its graphic content.
Okay, never mind. I stand corrected. That whole kicking twins into a pot of boiling goop and feeding a little girl to a bear probably puts him on this list. But still pretty low on this list.
Life and death is nature's law.
Junko Enoshima. Junko Enoshima is the main antagonist of the Danganronpa franchise. She's a high school-aged malicious mastermind and leader of the terrorist group Ultimate Despair. She's obsessed with causing global misery to fuel her insane love for despair. She orchestrated the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, plunging the entire world into meaningless chaos, violence, and death. Junko's erratic behavior stems from her boring and mundane life, which lead to her craving despair for herself and others. She used her sister in order to spread more and more despair, started a killing game, all to just cause despair. She constantly switches personas to avoid boredom, with an attention span worse than the average person on TikTok. Her superhuman analytical abilities allow her to manipulate people and predict events,
Interesting. So she's basically just a bored kid acting out her spoiled rich fantasies. Well, not rich, but just, chaotic fantasies. So she's very similar to Nemesis.
Despair. Despite being completely insane, she knows the difference between right and wrong, but revels in doing wrong. Different from others on the list, she loves her friends and family, but would still kill them if it brought her more despair.
It's punishment time!
Scarlet King.
Okay, so if she loves her friends and family, I feel like that would put her much lower on the list, but okay. Sure, I mean, sure, whatever.
Scarlet King is a major antagonist of the SCP Foundation series, and is believed to be the most dangerous opponent in all of the canon. An ancient god representing the
Yeah,
and is believed to be the most dangerous.
Because that was a very interesting chart. Okay, so there's all these SCP characters, and there's all these individuals, and then there's the Scarlet King at the very bottom. Okay. I have no idea what any of this means.
Opponent in all of the canon. An ancient god representing the base and savage aspects of humanity, the Scarlet King opposes both science and technology and seeks to return things to times long past. The children of the Scarlet King treat him as a relentless.
So he's basically an anarcho-primitivist. Okay, so he's basically just the god of anarcho-primitivism. All right.
Unbelievably powerful king. They seek to summon him into our universe to destroy the modern world, so that times of old, ancient and feudal, will be brought back. He is said to be a terrorizing, ever-changing creature with a multitude of forms. Scarlet King declared war on all of creation, a war to last until the very end of existence. It also conquered various other gods, one of them being a goddess named Sana, whom it had forcibly married, and some other not-so-good things. Sana went on to give
So basically, yeah, all right.
Birth to 7 daughters, each of whom Scarlet destined to carry a Leviathan. In his hunt for supremacy, he made the children of Anut powerless to fight against his mass destruction and extreme measures to his advantage. The Scarlet King has been portrayed as quite merciless and cunning, even going as far as destroying the fabric of reality itself, which is the Tree of Knowledge. Its powers are endless, ranging from reality to...
So basically just an evil chaos god. I feel like you could have put the Warhammer chaos gods or the Morgoth from Lord of the Rings or any other, or Null from Marvel or just any other type of evil god archetype in here and it would have fit the same purpose. I mean, but, all right. Scarlet King is pretty bad, I guess.
Distortion, the annihilation of worlds, to threatening the multiverse's existence. It can also tear through other dimensions, manipulate the memories of others, and feed on the negative emotions. The Scarlet King is related to SCP-231, the Seven Brides. All of them got impregnated and delivered different types of anomalies due to the cult. In most versions of the story, all but the last bride have delivered, and when the last one does, it is said that the Scarlet King will enter our world. Whereas the Lich aims to eradicate existence from reality, the Scarlet King wants to recreate reality in a way that aligns with his ideals, a brutal, archaic, and oppressive world order. Scarlet King is the essence of chaotic malevolence, with no redeeming qualities or moments of pragmatism, but still has a grand ambition, unlike AM, whose evil is entirely personal and driven by pure hatred.
He rose in her blood, and was from then on known as Shormosh Ordal, the Scarlet King.
Shormosh Ordal, the Scarlet King.
Oh.
Alright, so that seems to be the end of the video, because after that there's just the short clip that they made in Minecraft. So, thank you guys so much for watching. It was pretty fun to make this video. I really liked reacting to these videos. I had a lot of fun. So, you know, it's highly likely that I will come back to posting on this YouTube channel somewhat regularly. You know, as a Dark Lord, I do have other aspects of my evil empire to run, but I do have some big plans for 2026, and I feel like my plans for 2025 have been at least somewhat achieved, you know. I didn't fully get to where I wanted to this year, but at the same time, I am pretty happy with the progress I've made this year. I can't complain too much. So, you know, with that out of the way, thank you all so much for sticking by my side since the very beginning, and this evil journey of mine has only just begun, so stay tuned for the next part of my dark quest coming in the next year of 2026, and let's see where this crazy, crazy journey leads us, my friends. Okay, Darksiders,